Hey folks, Nick Laroque here from Guitarworks. A couple of weeks ago I acquired a guitar neck jig. I'm going to use this neck jig for all fret work, things like fret leveling, fretboard leveling, refrets, etc. Shortly after acquiring this neck jig, I posted a photo on Instagram and Facebook with an Epiphone Les Paul on the neck jig. That guitar came in for a full refret. I did document the whole job on video, but unfortunately in the process of copying the video to my computer, some of the crucial videos got lost. So I've decided to make a compilation of stills and narrate over that, so that you can get an idea of what the story is behind the neck jig and what I do here at Guitarworks. When the guitar is in the playing position, gravity and strings exert a certain kind of tension on the guitar neck. By using the neck jig, I can simulate this tension while the guitar is in the flat working position and without any strings on it. This gives me a more realistic profile when leveling the fretboard or the frets. This in turn translates to a better playing instrument. In the first photo I have the guitar in the playing position. Here I tune it to pitch and I make sure the neck is perfectly flat, or as flat and straight as a factory guitar neck can be. This is before I've put on the dials. After this photo was taken, I put the dials on the jig and get my readings on the tension. In this photo you can see the guitar in the working position and the dials are fitted to the jig. In this photo you can see I put the jack under the headstock and the strap around the nut area to start simulating the tension on the guitar. In this photo I still have the strings on. In future I will remove the strings beforehand. It just messes with my fine-tuning the tension. In this photo you can see I have zeroed in the dials, so the guitar is now in, so to speak, playing position tension. Here I started removing the frets. The fretboard is quite dirty, probably 12 to 15 years worth of rubbish coming out of those fret slots, along with the frets and some glue. As I'm removing the frets, I put them in that little block with numbers. The one row is for the old frets and the second row is for the new frets. You can also see my soldering iron, fret pulling pliers and some water in this photo. This is just a photo with all the frets removed. In this photo you can see a few of the tools lying around that I used to clean the fret slots. I used naphtha or lighter fluid to clean the fretboard, and after that I use a little scraper and some files to clean the fret slots themselves. You have to have a perfectly clean fret slot before you install new frets on the fretboard. This is a close-up of the fretboard and the fret slots. This is after I've sanded or leveled the fretboard itself. So I've leveled the fretboard and cleaned out the slots properly. In this photo I started installing the new frets. Here I have all of the new frets installed. With this being a bound fretboard, before I can install the new frets, each one of the frets, the tang underneath the fret has to be trimmed on both sides so that they actually fit in between the bindings on the treble and the bass side. In this photo I have trimmed and filed down the edges of the frets on both sides. The following photos are all photos taken after I've leveled the frets dressed the ends and recrowned the frets as well. I've gone through the grids up to 2000, but I haven't polished it with the Dremel yet. You may notice on these photos that I put the steeper bevel on the fret ends. Usually Gibsons and Epiphones have a 35-degree bevel on them. I put a 25-degree bevel on this one, just gives a bit more real estate and gives me opportunity to do something nicer with the fret ends. For clients who do actually want the 35-degree bevel, which is a more traditional fret end, I can do that as well. This photo was taken after I've polished the frets with the Dremel and the polishing wheel. Unfortunately, on these cheaper guitars the binding is also cheaper, and over time they get pitted and crack. With it being an Epiphone, I wasn't going to redo the binding. I'm really happy with the result of this job. Apart from doing a nice fret dress and crowning and polishing and things like that, I think that using the neck jig just put this job on a next level with regards to playability. Thank you for watching this video and giving me the opportunity to share this new way of doing things from our side. For any queries or bookings, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section or contact me via my website at www.nicklerock.com. I'm Nick Lerock from NLR Guitarworks. Cheers.